Everyone. Hi, my dear members. I wanted to talk to you all about burnout and how it can really knock you off course, sneak up on you, have you thinking you're doing something wrong, when in fact it's just a signal from your body and from your mind and your spirit that you are experiencing burnout. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible, and I'm going to consult the cards. We're not going to do a spread. We're just going to have an informal conversation about burnout in various different areas of our life and how it may show up, and maybe guidance on how to overcome it, and some symptoms of recognizing what it may look like in a particular given area. You know, when you're on a creative journey, such as many of us, whether you're into content creation, or maybe you're creating decks, or maybe you're an artist, or maybe you make handmade things or craft with things, or there's all sorts of things that we create, courses, etc. It runs the gamut. Inevitably, you could get burnt out. The same goes with, relationships. At times, you can even get burnt out as a partner, a mother, a friend, especially. When you are a content creator, you could get burnt out on social media. We often associate burnout and relate it to just our career. And it happened for me a lot. However, what helps me to recharge always is taking a step back, not forcing myself, but recognizing the power of a break, recognizing the need for restoration and recuperation. And how we do that is we take a step back. I have found this year for myself personally that I have needed to take multiple steps back. And oftentimes, people aren't knowing that I've taken a step back, say, from content creation. And it's because I have created videos ahead of time, well before the burnout happened. So I have an arsenal of videos that I could publish later. So oftentimes people don't even know that I'm actually in a moment of break, that I'm taking a break. It's not so easy to do that with family and friends, or if you're managing like a Facebook group. You can schedule content to go up on your social media platforms, but you have to sometimes engage with people and respond and comment. And so, yeah, you could schedule your content as an example. The thing about it is, it still requires some level of engagement. So that's okay. What you do is you schedule ahead of time, a weeks, months, or even a year ahead of time, that you're going to take a month off. You're going to take 2 weeks off. You're going to take a break. You're going to schedule and plan your vacation in social media creation, in your creativity endeavors, whether you're a writer or an artist or a deck creator or any of those things. You schedule it. When I worked in my professional life, I used to get excited about the idea of planning ahead. I used to plan my vacations a year ahead of time and plot it out. And inevitably, what ended up happening was, as I got closer to those vacation times, I was burning out even faster. So it was a signal to me even then that in addition to having planned time off, I need mini breaks as well. When you're self-employed, as I am now, it's easy to grind, and forego weekends at a time. Like, there will be times I have no days off. That is not a healthy way to approach things. Ultimately, you'll run yourself into the ground, as I found myself doing this year, particularly. And it just can't be. I used to also think that I only needed, one day off every other weekend. That's simply not enough. But you can gauge how much time you actually need off per week or per day, or whatever whatever you need. It's very important as you are on this journey of content creation and also being a healer and being self-employed and doing readings, especially virtually, to understand the signals of when you're starting to get burnt out, when it is time to take a break. What are some symptoms? So I made kind of a list of just different areas of focus that we can first look at with the cards. What are some symptoms of burnout in your general life? Of the world, it was kind of like this. So the world, it could be like feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Um, Feeling like you have just you're in an overachiever mode, and you're feeling like that you'll fail if you don't continue to push. Look, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. This is about a sense of over like excess of so much going on your plate, an excess of so many responsibilities to the point of burdening you versus you managing it. Things feel very much burdensome in your general life, to the point like literally it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And so then, we have what it could look like for you personally. This is what it looks like for me personally. And I suggest just throw in some cards. It doesn't have to be a full on spread, it could just be loosey goosey and just see what comes up. And then you could ask, in my general life, what guidance is there to help me to either recognize or to manage or even eliminate that burnout feeling in my general life? We have 10 of Cups in reverse, and this could be about I'm not spending enough time recharging with my family. And when I start to see that, when I start to feel like, oh, there's so much on my plate, there's so much to do, there's so much, and I realize I'll look back at weeks at a time, I haven't really spent a lot of quality time with my family. That's a signal to me that I am out of balance and out of harmony with what I truly value. The whole reason why I wanted to, it's not one of the only reasons why I wanted to be self-employed or wanted to go this path of being a reader full time. I also wanted to really help others. But I have to first know I have to help myself. So then we'll ask Spirit, what is the solution? What is the solution? The Moon, going within, sleep. I often see this card and I think of sleep, rest, checking in with my internal landscapes. You could even pull a corresponding oracle card. Guidance is there with that Moon card that I can draw from, right? Surrender worry. It says, make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. Wow, that ties in beautifully. Surrender worries, anxieties, fears. That goes perfectly with the Moon card message. What's really worrying me? What's at the core of it? Is it money, financial concerns? Is it worrying about the future? And I'm grinding, and then losing sight of what I'm truly valuing out of this life. I need to get back into harmony. How do I get back into harmony? This is what I do. It's just sometimes when I don't have time for a quick spread, I just have little conversations with myself and with the divine. Surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from the heart or come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. And sometimes it could be very ego driven, this need to be successful and accomplished, right? Thank you, Spirit. So then you could just go ahead down the line, make a list of areas you need to explore. Where may there be burnout in my life? What area may there be burnout? You could even just do a reading on that. What area that I'm really experiencing burnout in? And then you can see what card that comes up. We've got King of Cups. Okay. So you could interpret that, what area of like very much in a service-oriented business, including content creation, having to be there for others. And as a reader, you are providing a service. You are doing, in effect, spiritual customer service, if you will. And so I could sense that there was a time I was starting to get burned out. I had to take a little while off. My body was signaling to me when I had my kidney infection that I'm physically wearing down. I'm tired. I need rest. So I had to go ahead and take time off of doing readings on the hotlines. I didn't take so much time off of my client readings coming through my website or through Etsy. I don't always turn those off. I don't close my shops down there because I can manage that a bit better than hotline work. And then content creation, I had to step back from doing Mystery Missing Mondays because it's got a lot of emotional and spiritual heavy lifting going on in those types of readings. And it's not that I'm not going to come back to them, I am. But it is a form of service because when people are watching those readings, whether they are attached to the situation of that missing person or deceased person or not, they need tender, loving care as I carry us through that reading. That takes a lot of energy. I gladly do it, but I have to be, King of Cups here and manage that accordingly. So now, I wrote down a list for myself that I'll explore later, exploring burnout specifically. This also could be a form of shadow work. This is you getting to the root cause of your burnout in a particular area. I want to start having people get comfortable with the idea of shadow work not being so shadowy, not being so murky and this big nebulous thing that I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here. No, if you're tackling on a question like, where is burnout in my life? That is dealing with some shadow in your life, some blind spots, if you will. So some of the other areas that I, may want to explore is my reading business, my creative endeavors. Am I experiencing burnout there? And then you could ask yourself, what does it look like? My hotline work, my spirituality. Am I burnt out on some aspects of what I do for my spirituality? Or am I not getting enough spirituality? Those cards will reveal what it is I need to see and what it is I need to heal and how to heal it. Relationships, friendships, family, career relationships, colleagues, clients, customers, relationships, and then, of course, career. And, you're always wanting to ask, what solutions can I have to overcoming this burnout? So I invite you all to do just that, do this exercise. I may eventually publish this to my YouTube channel, but this is primarily for my members at this point, my Ko-fi members, my Poised to Lead Ko-fi members. I thank each and every one of you for being a part of the membership. Thank you. We do a lot of fun things together, don't we? Together a lot during the month. And but I feel I just just then and there I got an intuitive hit that I'm like, perhaps in some time in the future to share this bit of information with my greater family and my YouTube channel and my Facebook groups. So wanted to share that. I think I might do one more. Let's tackle the reading business. What does being burnt out in my reading business look like? And we can even include that as hotlines too. Okay, we got the Magician. I'm gonna get a clarifying card. Having to all people, and judgment. Ooh, I know what this might be referring to. I'm gonna wait till this motorcycle. So the Magician and judgment. Okay, so this is like I having to, when I feel like I am really pulled and tethered in so many different ways in my reading business. And I also start seeing that I'm being overly critical of myself in either my interpretations or second guessing myself with this judgment card or being overly analytical about things or just getting caught up in the noise of my head. I realize it's time to take a step back. If I also find myself being kind of overly critical and judgy of clients, and I'm rarely like that, especially through my readings that come through my Etsy shop or through my website. This could be more speaking to the hotlines. I can feel it. I used to, when I worked as a claims adjuster for an insurance company, I knew when it was time for me to take a vacation because I started getting kind of in my mind, getting argumentative with a customer or a claimant is what we call them. But I wouldn't necessarily say it. I knew that it was serious vacation and a seriously long break at that if I actually started kind of bickering. But the judgment, the magician card, that's interesting to me. And what I would do is perhaps journal a bit more about that. What are more signs of that? Um, and then we want to know, how can I recover or what are some solutions to burnout? Actually, let's look at what does actual burnout. I see the symptoms leading me to burnout with the judgment and the magician. We have the reversed six of wands. I just mentioned it. The reverse six of wands is about being overly critical and being overly critical of myself and others. And I before I got sick with a kidney infection, and before I started getting just really burnt out, I remember having some repeat clients coming through on the hotlines. And normally I have so much patience for them, and I'm able to feel like to show admiration for them and fill them up and make them feel good, big them up, you know. And there's one client, a longstanding repeat client on the hotlines that would come back to me over and over again. And because I was not feeling my best and I was feeling snippety and kind of judgy, I was getting mad because she was yet again pining and almost obsessing over her person of interest that she was focusing on. Oh, and just like they had a bad argument, and it was like, you know, that it's in a toxic situation. She's in a toxic situation. And I normally have so much patience and I give so much grace and understanding for those who are really struggling in that. And I had no patience, and it came through on the reading. And I could tell, I don't know, I didn't say anything offensive, but I could tell the energy and the vibe I was giving off was not, I was judgy and not very nice. And she may have needed that tough love, but I could tell that I'm not going to hear from her anytime soon again. And in retrospect, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's okay. But on the other hand, I could have handled that better. And I certainly was in need of a vacation in hindsight. I was in need of rest. My physical body was breaking down. I was in need of rest. My spirit also was breaking down. My mental agility that I normally have, gone. I didn't have the right verbiage to even say to her. So, what are some solutions? Two cards, spirit. Oh, maybe just go with it. We've got the Eight of Cups, moving to emotional higher ground. I like that Eight of Cups. We've got the Will, recognizing that that a cycle needs to end here. Embracing the fact that I'm not in harmony, that I'm in a cycle of disharmony, and now it's time to take a break, walk away, right? I can shuffle some cards here. Surrender to spirit. What else? What other solutions for my reading business spirit to help with burnout? Well, three. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to show you all what jumped. The first one is surrender to spirit. This is the power of surrender. The tarot deck I'm using is the Super Lenaris Tarot. Surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. I tend to get what? Overly analytical with this judgment card. Always in my mind, always thinking about what needs to be done next, having a long, massive to-do list that I'm trying to check off and get done. I'm known for lists. However, Spirit is like, sometimes you just got to turn it over to me, the divine. Let me help you. Have you done that lately, Kim? Have you done that lately? Next one is surrender to complete healing. This is beautiful. It says, open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. And then finally, my favorite, surrender to play. I needed that. I needed to hang out with my husband, go on rides, just have an afternoon off. I had a whole weekend off where I'm just Netflixing and chilling and just, I read a novel. I'm on my second novel, and I haven't read novels in a long time. As a teenager, I used to be an avid reader. I'm like, I could read book after book, like hundreds of pages at a time. And it felt so good to get back to that. So it says, take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. For once, I am always speaking about living an abundant life, but what does that really truly mean if you are burnt the hell out? What does it mean? And I just want us to make sure that we are tapping in and listening to what our body is saying, what our mind is saying, what our spirit is calling for. And we are so blessed as readers that we can have the tools to figure that out. So, dear ones, that's it for now. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. If I do happen to publish this on YouTube, and I'm thinking I will, do me a favor on your way out, please hit the like button. And also, if you haven't already considered doing so, please subscribe. All right, friends, take care. Bye for now.